Hi, we gonna talk about exchange rate regimes. We divided the exchange rate regimes into two major categories: the country who do not have their own currency, and the country who do have their own currency. So, in first category, there are country who just use some other country as their own currency. For example, dollar in their own currency. Especially, there are smaller islands in Northern America, or for example, Marshall Island. They use dollar as their own currencies. And the second category here is the monetary union. Um, EU is an example of this, where the multiple countries they give up control on their monetary policy and they contribute towards coming up with a common monetary policy for that region. And they accept the common currency. In this case, is euros being accepted by in the EU region. Second, the countries they have their own currency. They want to have their own monetary policy. At one end of the extreme, we have this currency board arrangement. In this case, they 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 try to have a fixed rate exchange rate between their currency and some foreign currency. Most of the time, it's dollar. So monetary authority they are legally required to hold the foreign exchange reserve or dollar equivalent reserve, equivalent reserve, so that their currency is always at the fixed rate to the foreign currency. In the conventional fixed peg arrangement, here we they allow some, instead of having a fixed rate, they do allow some fluctuation to the fixed rate so that they can have a more control on their monetary policy. In third rate, the the fluctuation is more, the band of exchange rate going up and down to the fixed rate increases. And this system is called pegged exchange rate within a target zone. Fourth one is we're talking about crawling flag. Instead of yeah, having a fixed rate and a band around it, in crawling peg says at periodic interval they actually reset the exchange rate, and they reset the band over which this exchange rate can fluctuate. With a system of managed floating currency exchange rate, in this system, what they say, instead of having a fixed rate, they worry about the other areas of economy, like their primary focus is to manage inflation or to have a sustainable GDP growth rate rather than having the exchange rate management. So the exchange rate changes as the monetary policy try to counter the inflation, try to have a sustainable GDP rate instead of managing the exchange rate. And the last one, independent floating. In this case, market demand and market supply of a currency decides the currency price. So in this case, there are a lot more fluctuation in the exchange rate, and which is not actually good for economy and for stable trade. Thank you.